Dominique will be giving a speech titled, Be Hungry for Greatness. Be hungry for greatness, Dominique will.
Thank you, Mr. Contest Master. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. When was the last time that you pushed yourself to do something that scares you to death? I want you to think about that over the next couple of moments as I relate to you a story of a legendary person who passed away recently. I'm referring to the Queen of Soul. Does anyone know who I'm talking about?
Aretha Franklin.
You got it, Aretha Franklin, yes. Now, Aretha Franklin will always be known as a legendary singer for her charisma and the confidence that she brought through her voice. But she was also an exceptional leader because there was also behind the voice character. Back in 1998, it was the 40th Grammy Awards, and they had scheduled Luciano Pavarotti, which is pretty much the world's greatest male opera singer that ever existed, to sing that night. And for some reason or another, 20 minutes before the Grammys, he calls up to the producers and says, look, I can't do it. I'll have to reschedule for next year. So as you can imagine, there's a bunch of panic going on. So the producers run over to Aretha's room, they knock on the door, and they say, hey, Pavarotti just canceled. Is there anything you can do to fill in? And you know what she says? Just give me a few minutes to look over his rehearsal tapes, and I'll do it. Just like that. Now, mind you, Aretha Franklin was not an opera singer. She was a gospel singer. Very talented gospel singer. Different from opera. But you see, Aretha didn't back down from a challenge. She was the type of woman who was willing to step up and put it all on the line because she believed in herself. That night, she stepped on the stage just 20 minutes later, and she gave the most memorable performance of her entire career. And she put so much soul into it that it sent shockwaves through people's TV screens around the world as they watched the Grammys. Aretha Franklin believed in herself. She was willing to step up, take inspired action, because she was hungry for greatness. And the question is, are you hungry? Are you hungry for growth? If so, say yes.
Yes.
Are you hungry for the skills that are going to take your relationships and your career to new heights? If so, say yes.
Yes.
Are you hungry for greatness?
Yes.
All right. Well, I love you guys' energy. That's exactly what you're going to need to take on this two-part challenge that I'm about to pose to you. And it's very simple. The first part of the challenge is to give more speeches. And the second part of the challenge is to give more evaluations. I strongly believe that by doing these two things, it's just one of the things you can do to achieve greatness on your Toastmasters journey, whatever that means for you. So let's talk about the first part of the challenge. The first part is to give more speeches. The reason why speaking is important in Toastmasters is because it builds our confidence. It helps us to think quicker on our feet and be able to express our thoughts with clarity in a way that connects with other people. Evaluations are important because really this is the secret sauce of Toastmasters. Evaluations help us to prepare for those difficult conversations that we really don't want to have, but we kind of have to, so that we can encourage, motivate, and inspire other people, and at the same time say what needs to be said. And so I want to share with you 3 things that you can do to make sure that you give more speeches this year. In particular, I challenge you to give 1 speech every single month, and also give more speech evaluations. So the first thing is to reach out to your Vice President of Education and just let them know that you would like to give at least a speech every single month so they'll know to put you on the schedule. If that's not possible, then consider having a speak-a-thon at your club or joining another club's speak-a-thon. Speak-a-thons are opportunities where prepared speakers and also speech evaluators can get together and just give speeches back to back. The third thing you can do is to step outside of your club and speak at another club. There are several different opportunities for this. You can reach out to another club if you know them directly, or contact Kevin Green, who is our speech ops chair. He has a program that links speakers with clubs who are actually looking for speakers. So we've talked about some of the benefits of giving more speeches. We've talked about some of the benefits of giving more evaluations. And you now have 3 strategies that you can use to commit to giving at least 1 speech every month. But as you all know, everything we do here in Toastmasters is transferable. So none of that matters if we're not willing to step out and apply what we're learning here in the real world. Because the people at home, the people in school, the people at work, the people out in the community, they're not necessarily the Toastmasters, but you are. You guys are the one that set the standard. People look up to you as a beacon of light for guidance on how to be. We're the ones that are supposed to know how to show up to every conversation with confidence, competence, charisma, wisdom, empathy. Because we are the ones that are putting in the work, showing up to meetings, and taking inspired action so that we can achieve greatness in our personal and professional goals. So I just want to leave you with a quick quote. And this comes to mind because as I think of what was going through Aretha's mind as she was preparing to step on that stage and give really this impromptu performance. And I'm reminded of a quote by Zig Ziglar. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Thank you.